Okay, so you know that stat that jumps out at you, that 96% of Pakistan's population is Muslim.
Yeah.
But we're not just looking at numbers today. It's more about how that faith shapes everything in Pakistan. The culture, the everyday stuff, celebrations, even how society's set up.
It really is fascinating. We've been looking at a bunch of discussions on the Islamic culture of Pakistan. And the thing is, Islam isn't just like a separate thing there. It affects daily routines, festivals, even clothes and architecture, everything.
So today we want to go deeper than just facts, right?
Yeah.
Show how Islam is woven into the daily life, traditions, and the whole structure of Pakistan, like picking up the coolest threads from this giant cultural tapestry. So let's start basic. How does being Muslim in Pakistan actually play out day to day?
Well, even if you're just visiting, one of the first things you'd notice is how Islamic practices are just everywhere. Like the greeting, Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
It's more than just hello. It's constantly acknowledging your shared faith. Then there are those little things like saying Bismillah, meaning in the name of God, before you eat. Or always using your right hand for meals.
Oh, interesting.
It's not random. It comes straight from Islamic teachings.
It's not just about individual actions, though, is it? It feels like it shapes the whole day.
Absolutely. The 5 daily calls to prayer, the adhan, echo throughout the country. It marks time and reminds everyone of their spiritual duties. It's a real soundtrack to life in Pakistan.
I can imagine.
And then on Fridays, the congregational prayers, Juma, are a huge community event. Many businesses, especially in smaller towns, will pause everything so people can go to the mosque. Really shows how central faith is to their community life.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And charity is such a core part of Islam. How does that work in Pakistan?
It's super visible. Zakat, giving a portion of your wealth to charity, is a pillar of Islam. It's done a lot, especially during Ramadan. And then there's sadaqah, which is voluntary charity.
Yeah.
That generosity, that looking out for others is woven into their society.
Yeah.
It's not just ticking off a religious box, it's just how they live. While we don't have exact numbers, just think about how much it's emphasized. It probably has a huge impact on how communities support each other.
Absolutely. So we see the daily rhythm. Now, for celebrations, it seems Islamic festivals are really the heart of community life.
For sure. They bring everyone together, not just for religious stuff, but for joy and celebration, like Ramadan.
Yes.
A whole month of fasting from sunrise to sunset. It's not just about not eating or drinking. It's about deep spiritual reflection, self-discipline, strengthening your faith.
And then comes Eid al-Fitr, the big celebration at the end of Ramadan, right?
Yep, Eid al-Fitr, the festival of breaking the fast. It starts with special morning prayers, followed by amazing meals.
Sounds delicious.
It is. There's also Zakatul Fitr, a special charity donation made right at the end of Ramadan. People wear new clothes, visit family and friends, and enjoy special dishes like sheer kurma, this rich milk and date pudding.
Oh, wow.
The joy and the sense of community during Eid al-Fitr are just so powerful.
Sounds amazing. And then there's Eid al-Adha, a festival with a really strong story behind it.
Eid al-Adha connects deeply to the shared history of the Abrahamic faiths.
Right.
Eid al-Adha, the festival of sacrifice, is about Prophet Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son for God.
A powerful story.
It is. The main ritual is Qurbani, sacrificing an animal, usually a goat, cow, or camel, and the meat is shared with family, friends, and the needy. It's a strong symbol of sharing and remembering.
That's beautiful. Aren't there other important religious events throughout the year, too, like Milad an-Nabi?
Yes, Milad an-Nabi celebrates the Prophet Muhammad's birthday. There are religious gatherings, recitations of naats, which are beautiful hymns praising the Prophet, and often processions. It's worth noting that how it's observed can differ a little between Islamic sects.
Makes sense. And then there's Ashura, which is especially important and solemn for Shia Muslims.
It's deeply meaningful, particularly for them. Ashura, on the 10th of Muharram, commemorates the martyrdom of Imam Hussein at the Battle of Karbala.
Yeah.
For Shia Muslims, it's a day of deep mourning with processions, majalis gatherings with sermons and elegies recounting important events, and sometimes self-flagellation as an expression of grief. It's also important to know that Sunni Muslims observe Ashura too, usually with fasting and extra prayers.
Right.
They acknowledge its historical and religious significance, though for different reasons.
So these festivals aren't just dates on a calendar. They're really tied to the cultural and religious identity of Pakistan. Now let's switch gears to something more personal. How do Islamic teachings influence clothing in Pakistan?
The focus on modesty in Islam really impacts traditional Pakistani clothing. For women, the shalwar kameez is the basic outfit, and it's usually worn with a dupatta, a scarf that can cover the head and shoulders. Then you have coverings like the hijab for the hair and neck, the niqab, which also covers the face, and the chador, a big cloak. In more conservative rural areas, you might still see the burqa.
What about men's traditional styles?
Men often wear the shalwar kameez too. They'll also wear a topi, a small round cap, especially for religious things, or a pagri, a turban, more common in certain areas or among older men. And beards are seen as important, a sunnah, a practice of the Prophet.
So both men's and women's clothing have this theme of modesty.
Exactly. Flashy or revealing clothes are generally frowned upon, and as our sources say, these dress codes are stricter outside big cities. It reflects how strongly religious and cultural norms influence how people present themselves.
It's fascinating how these values show up in such everyday things.
Okay.
Moving beyond individuals and communities, let's talk about how Islamic culture has shaped the actual look of Pakistan.
Yeah.
Its architecture. Pakistan has a rich Islamic architectural heritage, doesn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. You see this incredible blend of Mughal, Persian, and Arabic styles,
Yeah.
like the Badshahi Mosque in Lahore, this grand Mughal-era building from Emperor Aurangzeb's time. It's a powerful reminder of that period's artistic and cultural achievements.
Are there modern examples that still use Islamic aesthetics?
Definitely. Take the Faisal Mosque in Islamabad.
Yeah.
It's a modern take on Islamic design. It's the biggest mosque in Pakistan and a striking symbol of the country's Islamic identity in today's world.
What about beyond those big national mosques? Are there other architectural expressions of Islamic culture?
Absolutely. There's the Shah Jahan Mosque in Thada, known for its crazy, intricate tile work and all those domes. Then you have the tons of Sufi shrines all over the country,
Right.
places like Data Ganj Bakhsh Shrine in Lahore, Lal Shahbaz Kandar in Sowan, and Baba Farid in Pakpatan. They're not just stunning buildings, they're deeply revered spiritual spots that draw in millions of people looking for blessings and connection. These shrines, with their unique styles, often mixing elements from different periods, are a key part of Pakistan's cultural and religious scene.
They really highlight that mystical side of Islam in Pakistan, which we'll get to soon. But first, how has Islam influenced the more formal parts of the country, like the law and education systems?
That's key to understanding how deeply Islam influences Pakistan. It goes right into the laws and how they teach their kids.
Interesting.
Pakistan's constitution makes Islam the state religion, and that impacts the legal system big time.
Like in the laws themselves.
Yep. Laws about marriage, inheritance, and personal stuff are mostly based on Islamic principles.
I see.
Our sources mention the hudud ordinances, which lay out punishments based on interpretations of Islamic law, and the blasphemy law, which is controversial but still a big part of their legal system. It's important to point out, without taking sides, that these laws exist within a legal framework influenced by Islamic principles.
Got it. What about education? How does Islam play into that?
Islamic studies, or Islamiyat, is a required subject from school all the way to university.
Makes sense.
This makes sure everyone gets a basic understanding of Islamic teachings and culture. Then there are madrasas, Islamic schools focused on religious education. Some mainly focus on Quranic studies. Others mix religious and modern subjects. These places are important for religious teaching and keeping Islamic knowledge alive.
So Islam isn't just about laws and education, right? It's about the more spiritual side of life, too. That's where Sufism comes in.
Exactly. Sufism is this vibrant and influential part of Pakistani culture. It's a mystical branch of Islam that's all about love, tolerance, and experiencing the divine directly.
Interesting.
Sufi saints are highly respected for their wisdom, teachings, and message of unity and compassion.
Right.
It resonates deeply with Pakistanis.
And it's had a huge impact on art, especially music, right?
Absolutely. Sufi music, particularly Qawwali, is super popular in Pakistan. Think of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. He made this powerful devotional music world famous. Qawwali, with its poetic lyrics and moving melodies, is rooted in Sufi practices. It uses music and poetry to create a spiritual high, a connection with God.
And those gatherings at Sufi shrines sound like something else.
They are. The yearly Urs celebrations, remembering the anniversaries of Sufi saints' deaths, attract huge crowds. People often do damal, a spiritual dance with energetic moves, and go to Mehfil-e Sama, musical gatherings focused on Qawwali.
Wow.
It's about deep devotion and connecting with the saint.
It paints a picture of this rich and deeply spiritual world. Now, one last area where Islam is clearly seen.
Yeah.
Food. How do Islamic dietary rules shape Pakistani cuisine?
The biggest thing is following halal food laws.
Right.
This means only meat slaughtered in a specific Islamic way is okay to eat, and pork and alcohol are totally forbidden, considered haram.
This isn't just a personal thing, though. It impacts the whole food scene. Right?
Yeah, totally. You see it in the popular dishes, especially at Islamic festivals and gatherings. Dishes like biryani, nihari, halim, and all sorts of kebabs are staples. And during Ramadan, certain foods are big for breaking the fast. Dates, pakoras, samosas, and roux afsa, a sweet drink.
I see.
Food traditions are tied into their religious practices.
It's really something how this one religious tradition impacts so many different parts of life in Pakistan. From greetings to laws to the food they share, it's all linked.
It is. The thing to think about is that pervasiveness. Islam isn't just beliefs, it's a whole framework that shapes Pakistani culture.
Yeah.
You see this blend of religious devotion, centuries of history, and vibrant cultural diversity all woven together.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Islamic culture in Pakistan, it leaves you with something to think about. How does one belief system so deeply affect a nation's identity compared to more secular places? What are the good things, maybe even the challenges, that come from that level of integration?
It's a really interesting question.
It is something to ponder, the wide-reaching impact of this connection between faith and culture. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.